Have you ever wondered which country has the world's laziest economy? Welcome to the fascinating realm of economics, where today we're exploring the intriguing case of one tiny nation that has indeed built the world's laziest economy. When we talk about a lazy economy, we're referring to an economic system that leans heavily on a single resource or sector, rather than diversifying its revenue streams. And this tiny nation has mastered this art of economic sloth. It has built its wealth on one primary resource, putting all its proverbial eggs into one basket. Now you might be thinking, isn't it risky to rely so heavily on one resource? Absolutely. Yet this nation has managed to maintain its economy with a seemingly nonchalant attitude, shrugging off the traditional economic wisdom of diversification. So, this tiny country has built the world's laziest economy, but how does it stack up against other nations? Stick around, and we'll dive right into the comparison in the next scene. When it comes to economic prosperity and activity, not all nations are created equal. Indeed, there is a striking contrast when we compare our tiny country's economy with those of other nations. Let's delve into the factors that contribute to this difference. Firstly, the diversity of industries plays a significant role in shaping an economy. Most robust economies boast a wide range of industries, from manufacturing and agriculture to technology and finance. This diversity not only provides a safety net against sector-specific downturns, but also fosters innovation and creates job opportunities. However, in our tiny country, the economy is primarily reliant on a single industry. This lack of diversity leaves it vulnerable to industry-specific shocks and limits job creation. Secondly, the level of innovation can be a game-changer for an economy. Countries with a high level of innovation, like the United States or South Korea, constantly introduce new products and services, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. This not only drives economic growth but also enhances the quality of life. On the other hand, our tiny country has a relatively low level of innovation, with few new products or services being introduced. This lack of innovation stifles economic growth and limits the potential for improvement in living standards. Finally, workforce productivity is a crucial factor in determining economic activity and prosperity. Countries with high workforce productivity, such as Germany or Japan, see their economies thrive as each worker contributes significantly to the national output. In contrast, our tiny country has a relatively low level of workforce productivity, with each worker contributing less to the national output. This results in slower economic growth and lower overall prosperity. In essence, our tiny country's economy is marked by a lack of industry diversity, low innovation levels, and reduced workforce productivity. These factors, when combined, result in an economy that operates at a slower pace than most, earning it the title of the world's laziest economy. As we can see, the tiny country's economy operates quite differently from those of other nations. What happens when a country relies too much on a single resource or sector? Well, the answer is not quite pleasant. A lazy economy, as we call it, is like putting all your eggs in one basket. It's a high-stakes gamble. Sure, it works fine when the going is good, but what about when the tide turns? Imagine a country heavily dependent on oil exports. It thrives when oil prices are high, but when those prices plummet, so does the economy. This over-reliance leaves the country economically vulnerable, with little room to maneuver in the face of global economic changes and crises. In addition, a lazy economy lacks diversity. It's like a one-trick pony. There's no resilience, no backup plan. If that one sector falters, the entire country staggers. Unemployment soars, living standards drop, and the nation's future hangs in the balance. Having a lazy economy may seem like an easy route, but it's a risky strategy that can lead to serious problems. So, what have we learned about the world's laziest economy? Well, we've journeyed through the unique characteristics of this tiny country's economy. We've seen how its laid-back approach to economic activity, with a heavy reliance on a single resource, sets it apart from the hustle and bustle of other more diverse economies. We've also examined how this economy stacks up against others, highlighting the stark contrast between its slow-paced, single-focused economic model and the dynamic, multifaceted economies of larger nations. We've delved into the potential risks of having a lazy economy, exploring the vulnerabilities that come with dependence on one resource, the susceptibility to global market shifts, and the potential for stagnation without a culture of innovation and productivity. Ultimately, building a robust economy requires more than just relying on a single resource or sector. It requires diversification, innovation, and a productive workforce.